The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Good afternoon, traders. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Can you see me? Can you hear my screen? Nope. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Welcome out to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options closing bell. Hi, Koo. Thank you. Good to see you. Interesting market going on as we speak. I'm not convinced. I don't know what it was that the market liked about what the Fed said. We'll see. But I'm not convinced. Well, let's get into it. My name is Scott. I'm the host. I'm the head trading coach here at Tradespoon, and I will also be your friend. Well, at least I hope so. This is a little bit about me. I have been trading for a while. I have been teaching, coaching, mentoring, instructing, educating for a while. Okay. Well, let's move this out of the way. Well, what do you think? Is this a tweezer hold? It's not quite high enough yet. Let's see. It got close. Open 508.56. Today's high 508.19. So we got within 40 cents of this, and then it gave it back, but I just don't think I'm convinced. Volume is going to be too light. We are at 72 million average. We are at 48 million now with 52 minutes left. I would expect we get maybe even 30% more volume that we've already had, meaning another 15 million. Still puts us at 63. Still puts us 10 less, which means that we would have sold on above average volume and recovered. I don't know. What's the reaction? Let's talk about that. And let me reload this. So what do we think? Fed holds rates at 23-year high. Noted a lack of progress in the inflation fight, signaling it's going to keep them elevated for the foreseeable future. AMD's SMCI sell-off. Job openings hit lowest level in over 3 years. Yeah, but that's in over 3 years, meaning that's coming out of the pandemic. As we recovered out of the pandemic, we had, upwards around 11 million at one point. We're still more than double what we were prior to the pandemic. So, think about that. What else? Wonderful, wacky Wednesday indeed, Dennis. It's good to see you. I don't know how he soothed the nerves. He said it's too high to cut. Isn't that what we were concerned about? I don't know. What am I missing? The Fed will act more apolitically. Okay, I don't know. Hold steady, lack of progress. Let's go see how the market is responding. Obviously, May, there's nothing. I want you to notice that in the June, we're at 82% against, 13% for, and now there's a 3.5% chance priced in for the Fed to raise rates. Not only are you now seeing more people, where's Kevin? Is he here? He's waiting for me to have to eat my words that I'm like, there's no way they're not going to raise rates in 2024. Or excuse me, not going to lower rates in 2024. Now you have a camp developing that says they may have to raise them again. They may have to knock it up before they knock it down. Okay. We'll see. July used to be when we priced in the possibility. Now that's almost 3-1 against in July. September was the where it was. Now it's 1-1, but slightly leaning in favor of staying the same. November is the first time now. You'll notice way back when, right? This is the first time that a month ago was the first time was in September, and a couple months before that it was July, and a couple where you keep for a while. I mean, it was March at one point. We're like, yep, we're getting it in March. Nope, went to May. Nope. We just keep kicking that can down the road. Kick it down the road. I don't know. I'm digging in for a sideways market. Yeah. If you own stock, covered calls. If you don't own stock but you have cash, naked puts to buy stocks at a discount, then sell premium against it. When we're at support, it's on the most bearish things. I'll bring balance with butterflies when the volatility is a little high. Bob had a few last minute items to convey to Jer Bear. Couple of texts he had to fire off. He's back now. Not hawkish like expected. I don't know. Were they expecting him to be hawkish? I feel like it was what was expected, which is, look, it's stuck. We can't do anything until it's unstuck. I mean, he could be like, so listen, people, stop buying stuff you don't need. Hunker down for a minute. Let things recover. Then we can get some rates back down, right? I mean, but that U.S. consumer, the indomitable U.S. consumer, expected him to overhawk. The talking heads said, "Talking heads." Yeah, I think it's as expected. But interesting, where November is now our first month with higher than probability of a decrease at the highest level. So yeah, okay. What else? A lot of times we're like, everything's still good. But if you notice, the Chicago Business Barometer had a pretty sudden drop, and our consumer confidence number, which was expected to tick slightly higher, had a pretty big drop. Now, a little drop would be all right. 97. However, let me tell you this: lower confidence tends to translate to what? A little bit more frugality. They spend less. So if consumers start to spend less, that's the domino that we're looking for economically to lead into decreased inflation. We cannot have inflation come down if spending stays strong, period. It's not going to happen. Well, what's a precursor to potentially seeing spending decrease? Consumer confidence. I guess we'll see. Slowing economy. And that's the thing is, can it slow just enough? Okay, here's a question. Has anybody put on a speculative bearish trade? Speculative, not a hedge, speculative. I'm okay with it though. I'm still in a good place. I'm still ahead. However, we'll see. Failed mission. ADP employment. Employment still good from the private sector. Right? We don't know yet about from the public standpoint until we get Department of Labor numbers on Friday morning. But here you can see we're hovering around 200. 200 is growth. Approximately 150 is stability. 100 and less is where you're starting to not get as much as you're losing and expecting negative numbers eventually. So, okay, still good there. Job openings went from 8.7 to 8.5. If you saw, right, this is still significantly, it's still enough to buoy our current unemployment rate. What are we at? 3.7? I guess I could scroll down. 3.8. 3.8. Where's it supposed to be? 3.8. 3.8. Remember last month in employment, we got unexpectedly high at 300. We're expecting 240. Even if we're low at 200, it's still a growth labor environment. So there's a couple of things that were concerning, although I would actually say consumer confidence may actually be helpful. Overall, though, I'm still long-term bullish. I still believe in the bullishness of the market, but short-term, I think we are in more negative momentum than not. The buyers have a lot of work to do right now, and what we're seeing here. We had a sell-off and it's coming back up. Okay, it's got to get past this, up to this, and then through it. Does it have what it needs for that? Or are we more likely now? Remember that there is a market that we are correlating this to. the last time that we let me draw, which is back here. So we had the same kind of a drop like this, and you'll see the same kind of a thing. It went up and it rolled over, and then it's like pop, and it popped up, and it actually popped higher so than the initial bit. So this is where it pops up, and maybe it gets up here, and you're like, oh, we're okay. Same thing. Same thing. This occurred right around the 50-day moving average. You'll notice that. That's exactly where we are right now. This is occurring right around the 50. And that's assuming it does get a little higher. So what I'm telling you is, even if it gets a little higher, I'm still suspicious as hell of the buyer's ability. Agree? Disagree? Am I off base? Are you strongly bullish? If you're wondering about my posture, real quickly, let me pop it up. Posture people. I dropped again. 4 weeks straight. 4 weeks straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. I'm still at 275. Still kind of holding on. For me, I'm saying, yeah, the momentum is a -4 over the last 4 weeks. Right? The momentum is a -4. I'm trying to think of how I can do momentum to show up a momentum score. I haven't thought of it yet. It's coming. It's coming. I'm gonna put it in here to remind myself what's the momentum score. Okay. All right. Back out to this little window, not that one, sorry, this one here. And you can see it dropped a little, and then it still tried. It's like I'm still trying, and then it just lost. So if you do speculate bearishly, you may have to kind of take a little, withstand a little before it comes. Is this the time to enter bullishly? Well, it could give you 2 or 3 days. And right now, my mindset for any trades I'm in, especially bullishly, is take profits quickly, tighten stops quickly. So back when my market posture is a 5 and a 6, I'd tell you I'm looking for 6 days, 7 days. I'm going to push it. And if I sell profit, I'm going to sell 1 or 2 contracts, not half. What am I doing now? Now, if I get to a point, I'm like, yeah, let's take half off the table, right? So more aggressively scaling out in order to protect the trade better, tightening stops sooner. Because I don't trust this market. Do you trust this market the same way you did back here when it was doing this? Right? Back in here, I'm a somewhere between a 5 and a 6. Even in here, the worst it got was maybe down to like a 5 right through here, right? Something like that. Here to a 2.75. And this thing is dropped. That's what I use this for, is to try to help inform and help me say, like, hey, what? Now that I see this is different fundamentally, same kind of a thing, you would have seen the same kind of a thing happen back here. It can recover. It can go from this point to a 2 back to a 4, and you're like, oh, I'm bullish again. Oh, be careful. Be careful in there, right? That's what I'm saying, is I'm going to be very careful in this area not to get too swept up one way and be very, very ready to go hard the other way, because I think we are at this point we are now, in my opinion, in a higher probability of touching down 10% before we touch new highs. Seasonal chart. Can we look? Fred says, not only can we, will we? Yes, we will. But that's what I'm projecting right now. That's new highs. I'm saying that we're more likely to get down 10%, what, 475-ish about? We'll call it 475, somewhere down in here. We're more likely to touch this point than we are to get into this area for me from right now. That's what I'm saying. So I'm prepared to speculate on that to the downside. Let's look at the seasonal chart. Is the request? Let me get. I thought that I had that up, but apparently I did not. We'll go there first. Then we'll work our way backwards. So here we are in May. What happens in May? In May, we tend to see it sell off, try to recover a little, sell off, try to recover a little. And then finally, right there, one last sell off in June, and then you get a late June into July rally, and then you get 3 more months of sideways. 2 months, one up, 3 months, although really it's the October, so even though from there to there, you can still try to catch it, right? That's from a cyclical, from a seasonal. So I don't think the seasonal offers us nothing that says, well, maybe if the seasonal plays out, we get exactly what we're thinking, and that's sideways to down, right? Give me your thoughts if you see it otherwise. Let's go pop in. Give me Vlad's take. I haven't spoken to him in a little while. Is he trading bullishly, bearishly, neutrally, cautiously, expeditiously? What kind of Lee is he doing? I mean, look at that. Stella called out today. Well, that's pretty amazing right there. Last year was an exception, 100%. Last year we were overly bullish relative, right? Overly bullish. Do we have that? This is interesting to me because I'll tell you, Stella she's knocked it. She's got it exactly right. She's got it exactly right and has it retesting old highs, not necessarily touching new ones. Wow, that's ambitious. That's funny because oftentimes lately I'm more bullish than maybe what that's doing for me is saying, hey, are you biased to the downside now? Because I am still a 2.75. I love financials still. A lot of things are sputtering, though. That's my problem. Whatever Stella's picking up on, I'm not. Okay. Russell. Bam, bam, bam. Wow. I mean, this is surprising. Is anyone surprised? You feeling this? I need to get a few more bullish trades in 4 out of 4. The Dow a little less so. Okay. Well, let's pop in. Oh, we forgot to do a quiz. Oh, and look at us. We are let's do a quiz. We have time. We're at that smash up here. We're stuck. Here. Here's the lines. I'm going to go right across the tops and then bottoms of the bodies of this range. I don't even know what the numbers are yet. I just drew where it felt right. Where did it feel right? 507.40 or above. 506.30 or above. B. Below 506.30. C. A, B, C. It's a club. You're welcome. Bob is a B. B is for Bob. Let's see what Stella says. Yeah, I hadn't looked today. Usually I look before I start. So I found myself surprised, wow, Stella, geez, where did this come from? This newfound optimism of yours. Intraday. 2 o'clock for me, 3 o'clock Central, 507.80. 507.80. Stella's an A. Stella says we're gonna rally on back up. Anybody want to join her? Anybody else want to get an answer in? Still time. Still time. Oh, the sellers are coming. Brad is a B. B's for Brad. C, joining the C's. Thank you, Fred. Love it. Good. A couple of late answers gave us a nice sample size for today. Thank you both. We've got 4 C's, 2 B's, and Stella is an A. Okay. All right. What else do we need to look at? I say next is the VIX. Next is the VIX, and I'm driving. So VIX. Whoo! Look at that. All the way down to new lows. We didn't hold them. Interesting though, right? For me, it's really all still the same touch. This was not a higher low for me. It was the same low. I was not looking at this in a hedge fashion. I was looking at it in a speculative fashion. Again, surprising. VIX is back down at 1480. What does that mean? Well, means that if you are in the camp that you might still want to buy some puts, they're still in a reasonable range. What is reasonable? SPY 30, we'll go June 7th. That's 37 days. And we're going to go from 205. 205, 5% out of the money, 195s. Easy enough. Easy enough for these. No, what did I just say? That's the wrong. I'm like 195. 505 times 0.95. Sorry, you guys are like, what math are you doing, bro? 480 is what I meant to say. Did I catch you? 480. $1.94. Is it like where we really want to get our hedges on when it's like $1.30 to $1.50? No. It's also not $3 or $3.50, right? Which is where it'll go if things drop and the VIX spikes again. At the very, very least, that's where we're going to go. So yeah, that's reasonable. What else is reasonable? I think a calendar spread. We're below 15. Calendar spread is reasonable. As an opportunity. I have one on now that's doing quite well. Okay. Maybe we'll look at a new one. Okay. So we've looked at the VIX, interesting place, low vol. Is it low enough that you're like, yeah, that's bullish? You're saying that's a flat. Someone might argue that that's a flat. Well, we're still kind of in it, but if it does something like that, then maybe so, and you think that's coming on back down. Let's be open to the possibilities. Let's be water. Be water, my friends. Okay, let's go up to Apple. What do we think about Apple? Well, Apple reports earnings tomorrow. It's kind of funky down here. Below the 50, it's new low. It's at lows. Not right now, but recently it was at new lows. I'd like to see what happens after earnings and then what happens after the dust settles from earnings. Then I think we'll have a better sense of what that might look like. AIG. Did we get earnings? Was it this morning? Nope. It's coming It's coming after market. I mean, everything, whatever's happening now could shift. That's the problem with earnings. AMD gave us earnings yesterday. They did surprisingly well, but lowered guidance, I'm assuming, and dropped. Amazon reported earnings and they gapped up, but they're just kind of sitting at the same level they were at. I like AXP. So I'm not looking at this market like, oh, everything looks terrible. Look at AXP. It looks great. Great trend. Financials are strong. AXP just made a higher high. Looks like it's getting ready to establish a higher low. I'm in. I'm in to consider it when it shows up with a signal. Boeing, nothing there. Bank of America looks good. Bank of America, AXP, Citigroup looks okay. Not as good as the others, I don't think. Caterpillar, like a dog. Look at that. Industrials are a little weaker because of it. Chipotle Burrito Group. Chipotle Burritos. Smashed it on earnings, higher high. And now what? Flagging into a higher low. The options are very expensive. There's not a ton of liquidity. The spreads are wide. That's maybe one of the reasons why it's splitting here in June for a 50-1. So this will be a $60 stock soon. 60-ish. Capital One looks great. Put it with the others. Which do you like best? One, maybe two in financials? Oh, now, again, well, this ConocoPhillips is not oil, but it's my representation. Well, let's look at this. What did we say? We said, wouldn't it be great? I had a bullish trade on it and took a little bit of profit, and then I tightened up stop and broke even. Little profit, break even. I made a little money on it. And what happened? Oh, I said I'd love for this thing to break back down. Here is crude oil so that we can see the source, not just a byproduct. Even more so. We got up here to the new high. We came down. We tested. It started to bounce. And then we fell. And we fell with increased volume on these last 2 days. We've broken the 50. We've taken out the old low. Beautiful. The oil can drop back to 72.5. That will make the Fed's job a lot easier, because oil was a huge amount of stress and pressure on pricing situations. So yeah, love to see that. That is good news. What else have we not looked at in a little bit? Let's take a look at the dollar. And we're going to do a correlation to what? Back to June, July, August, September, because this looks pretty bullish, but all of a sudden it's a little sideways. Okay, so let's go back to that market. Right, let's go back to that market, and same kind of a thing. You know, it was tenuous at first, and then all of a sudden it started breaking to new highs. That happened in early August, and it continued on up until about late October. But when we got to this lower high situation in early November, that was the beginning of the end for the dollar. Now, what's going on? Same kind of a thing. We broke up, higher high, higher low, higher high. But right here, what's not happening is this. If this kept happening, that strength of the dollar is putting stress on the market. If this continues to come up, that will put stress on the market, and that helps push us more towards a correction. But if we don't get this, if this stays or even breaks back down, that'll give me a little bit of information that I'm not necessarily accounting for in my market posture. Where were we? Oil? Costco. Let me get back to 6 months. I'm definitely more cautious. Would you guys agree? Definitely more cautious. Sideways, but I gotta tell you, and this helps out of this. So If we get a little breakout, maybe there's something for us there. Delta overextended, but does look bullish. The Dow underwater. I've been a little bit cautious about whether or not I'm seeing defensiveness in the large caps. GBTC Bitcoin breaking down to new 3-month lows, 2-month lows at least. GE Aerospace, I like it. I'm willing to trade that. You might say, Scott, I thought you were jinxed. No, my friends. I'm not jinxed on GE Aerospace. I was past tense. I was jinxed on GE. GE Aerospace is a whole new ball game. Very excited to participate. GE Aerospace, getting ready. Now, you might be thinking, I wonder how many trades he's going to give it. Like, if the first one goes wrong, is he going to be like, no, I'm still jinxed? Of course I am. Of course. One trade. That's all it gets. Prove it immediately, or the theory is shattered. Gold still looks bullish, but it's kind of had a little fail to launch dip. We'll see. Google starting to maybe find some support. Old highs possibly becoming new lows. Broke out, pull back. We'll see. IWM underwater below the 50. Meta can't seem to get going under the 50. Microsoft can't seem to get going under the 50. So the problem for me right now is in like being very bullish on the NASDAQ is like, how are we going to get Apple, Google, Meta, Microsoft? All four of them are just sputtering underneath their 50-day moving averages. What am I looking for here? Yeah, you're not going to see. Right now, they look fine. The problem is every one of those has to get past that 50 before we even blink at it. So, yeah, great day today. Is it enough? I need more. I need more. Micron, look at Micron rolling over. Looks like ready to go. Heiken-Ashi. I would look at that as a potential. See if this thing drops on back down here towards this 93. Not bad. Netflix. You can see after it's gapped down, it's really just been kind of meandering. NVIDIA rolling over at a lower high, sitting on top of the 50, but really, I mean, look at it today, down 3%, volume ticking up. Yeah, there's a shadow there. All that shadow means is it was down 4.5, but now it's only 3, but it's still down 3 on increased volume. That's problematic. Car can't seem to figure it out. Got new lows. Qs under the 50. SPY. Oh yeah, look at that, giving it back. That little sliver of hope where it's like, I mean, come on, I looked at it, right? Hey, John. Good to see you. I looked at it, I'm like, I don't see how this thing's gonna tweezer hold. Today I don't see how it's gonna put up a tweezer hold. If you're wondering what I mean when I say that, let me, and it basically like, it goes from one directly back to the other. So it just sort of, right, that would be a tweezer hold. Not sure if there's any that we would see through here. Kind of right there, right where it went boom, boom. And you can see on that one, it had above average volume and it finished at or above the high. Very different prospect. So that one didn't start all the way back at the bottom, but I would say that's pretty representative of what a tweezer hold would look like, interestingly. Okay. TSM, what was the other one we were looking at? Micron broke the 50. It's recovered on one day. One day here had above average volume. You know, you think, Scott, that's a good candle. It's not, though, is it? Like, it's a big candle, but let's assess what happened on that above average big candle. Start from when? The day before. The day before it was here at 132. And then what? And then the next day it opened at 130. So it gapped down about 2.5, 3 points down here. So it started off with sellers, and then it rallied up, and by the end of the day, it definitely was better, but it was barely above the previous day. And then what's happened since then? Nothing. Okay. I'm worried that it's dropping again. Tell me if you agree. VIX is at 15. Kind of a funky looking thing right now. My puts have recovered a little. Walmart or Waste Management, maybe. I think industrials look okay. Where would I be thinking of trading bullishly right now? I still like financials. There's a possibility for industrials, but when we get down to the XLs, you're going to see that some of the momentum we're seeing is in utilities and staples, which we talk about. What are the things we've been looking for? That's defensive. That's a warning. Yeah, John, exactly right. Warning. It's like whoa. Where's this money flowing into this? Right. That's defensive alignment, posturing. And that's something that we've said we're going to be on the lookout for, to say that's concerning. Okay, well, guess what? Here it is. That's concerning. Right? Walmart. Flat. I would actually be looking at Walmart as possibly breaking out as a defensive. Walmart, Costco, both of them. Both of them, right? Let's go look at looks bullish. Looks like this is pausing. Same thing with Costco, right? Very, very similar, the two of them. So defensive representations. Here is materials. We've seen materials ease up a little. That's nice. I never traded much in materials, but I definitely prefer to see them slowing down. XLC. Not a materialistic guy, right? I care about the things that matter. Financials. Money. I don't care about materials. I care about money. If you have money, you can buy all the materials you want. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay. Energy. Love what we're seeing in energy. We've been hoping for that, right? Financials. Yeah, I'm looking for financials to hold up. I'm looking for industrials to maybe hold up. Technology is looking iffy. Staples. Look at staples. Even a little bit more there. Healthcare, nothing. Underwater, sputtering. Staples. Maybe. Or excuse me, consumer discretionary. Maybe. Gold, it's above the 50, right? It's had kind of a little failure to launch, but I'm okay with failure to launch. If it's the first one and it sputters, great. I'll look for the next one. It's still above the 50. I agree. It's still bullish. Still bullish. Bull flag territory from here. Okay. Okay. Let's go see where we're at. Ooh, I'm feeling it, but I'm going to be okay. They're speculative and oh, goodness gracious. First suck out, it feels like, right? Man. Bitcoin down 18% in the last month. I told you, I felt like it triple topped. It really did sputter. So the rally is very disappointing. Very disappointing indeed. I mean, we were like up here, like, hey, is this thing going to be, what was the level? 506.30 was the level, you guys. We're at 501.30. That's 1% lower than where we were. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Are you feeling, though, like, I mean, I think about what I have on right now. I have a butterfly, or excuse me, a calendar spread making money, and I have on puts making money. That's short-term trading. Now, if you're looking at something outside of that, well, then you're probably looking at a different posture. This is all based on my short-term posture. Head is hanging low. Well, yeah, look, it's a funky time, my friends. It's a little funky out there. So let's be careful. Be diligent. Be water. Be excellent to each other. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Join me on Friday in the morning, coffee in hand, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, 7:15 a.m. Pacific Mountain Time. Yeah, you might want to pull up with the Magic 8 Ball and maybe have a chat, kind of see where things are going around. New lows for the day, huh? Maybe not. It's good to see everybody. We started light, but we finished strong. That's how we work. Have a great